I'll be going through the answers quickly, so make sure your course book is open and in front of you. And please stop and rewind the video as you need to. So, got your book open in front of you? Are your answers in capitals? Want to know why the answers are the answers? Then let's go. Okay, for question number 1, 2 things we've got to be aware of. First of all, we've got to be aware of the language patterns that follow seem. Seem is followed by not many things, but one of the things it is followed by is an infinitive form, and that's exactly what we can see here. Seems plus infinitive, because it seems to, and then we've got to put the bare infinitive version of the form of the verb. What's also important is the continuous form that follows, selling. If we use a continuous, we're going to need a form of the verb be somewhere. And that somewhere is exactly in this gap. So it seems to be selling even more than ever. For question number 2, if we have a look at the overall context, we can see that a comparison is being made, which means that we need a comparative form to put in this gap. Which comparative form do we need? Like. Novels like the Da Vinci Code, for example, have sold millions of copies. For question number 3, what we have to do here is put in the preposition to fill in the expression. And of course, if you know the expression, this is going to be easy peasy. If you don't, then you might get this wrong. What's the preposition that we need? Over. All over the world. And the word all is important because without all, we could say around the world, across the world, and so on. So all is an important word here as well. For question 4, very contextual question. If we understand the context, we will understand what kind of word we need here, and therefore we'll get the correct answer. Well, what's the context? The context is that the Da Vinci Code is not just popular. It's popular to the extent that there are walking tours and so that people can see everywhere that was mentioned in the book. So we need a word of emphasis to emphasize popular. So what word do we need? So. Now for question number 5, it's easy to fall into a trap here because if you see in order, you automatically think 2. And you think, aha, 2, next question, easy peasy, I've got it right, and let's go. But you wouldn't have got it right. And the reason is because we can see that there is 2 a little bit further on. In order people to be able to see. So it can't be in order 2 people to be able to see. So which preposition do we need here? We need the preposition for. In order for people to be able to see. For question number 6, once again, another contextual question. We've got one of the popular fictional detectives. So we know that we're talking about either a comparative or a superlative form. So it's either going to be more or most. The question is, which one? Here we've got to turn to the context. The context tells us that this detective character is of worldwide appeal and that millions of people are interested in him and that people go to this place to investigate and find out more. So it's not just a more popular fictional detective, it's one of the most popular fictional detectives. Question number 7, easy peasy. After right, we need, or given this particular context and given this particular language pattern, we need the preposition by after right. So the book was written by someone. For question number 8, we need a word to fill in this gap which helps us identify this particular place as being unique and or unusual. Which word does that? Well, of course, it's the article the. So for millions of people worldwide, the small town of Stad in Sweden is now synonymous ...